All right, I'm in Farmville, all parked, bike all set up, got lots of water, and plan to do the High Bridge Trail. First I'm gonna go west towards Pamplin. It's about 17 miles, and then turn around and come back, and that'll give me 34. And we'll see how I feel then, and if I'm feeling okay, I'm gonna go the other direction and back, and that should give me another 30 miles. So this will be a good test of the battery. And that's me. Okay, we've got 100% battery. So right now I need to find the trail. I just saw a guy on a bicycle, so this must be the trail. Okay, so that right there's the trail. Okay, let's go through here. Yeah, there's the trail. Yeah, there's a sign. High Bridge State Park. Very cool. So far, I've broken one of my plans. I didn't have any breakfast. I was going to do that. About an hour plus drive, from Lynchburg to Farmville. So not bad. I do have lots of water, and I do have a lot of protein bars. It's a gravel trail, crushed gravel. I guess it's like this the whole way. This used to be the route of the South Side Railroad that connected Petersburg, Virginia with Lynchburg. And then there was I don't know if it was a continuation of the same, it probably was, from Lynchburg to Bristol, Tennessee. And just, as I understand it, east of Farmville, where we are now, there was another rail line that went from Richmond down to Danville, and probably continued in North Carolina. I don't know. Wouldn't have been neat if all of this was together. So my goal, since in I guess a week and a half, I'm going to be heading up to Hancock, Maryland to ride on the C&O Canal from Hancock to Cumberland in one day, and that's going to be about 59 miles. And then the next day from Cumberland up to Somerset, Pennsylvania, which would be about 55 miles. Whole trip's supposed to be 115 miles, and this is something I should have done weeks ago to test out my battery and my legs. Hopefully it's going to prove to me today that both those things are capable of doing what I want them to do. I've been told this trail is kind of boring. It's flat, which is good. It's pretty much the same all along. So I'm not going to record all of it. I'm just going to record occasionally and give updates of how I'm doing. And this is as much for my own edification as anybody else's. Okay, we are 7.7 miles in. The trail hasn't changed much. It looks just like this most of the way so far. It goes through woods. It's a little more open than it has been before. It's really a nice trail. And my GPS thing keeps telling me that I'm on a -1 grade or a -2% grade, and I could swear I'm going uphill. Now it's telling me I'm at 0. And I have pretty much been averaging 8.5 miles an hour, which is not good. I need to be at least 10 or so. And I've been running on Eco 1. So I have been using power, and that I'm doing that purposely to see just how much it drains the battery for these 17 miles. Looks like there's another road crossing up here. So that's an update at 7.8 miles. All right, we just passed Prospect, Virginia, crossroads with a post office and a fire station. This is the widest open, unshaded the trail has been so far. Up till now, it's all been through woods. Really glorious. So on a hot day, this would be a little grueling, I would imagine. I'm 10.5 miles in, so another 5.5, 6 miles or so to Pamplin. I see looks like another shaded area coming up ahead of us. Yep, it's a little bit more shaded. This is more like what it was back in the earlier part of this western end of the trail. Really nice when it's shaded. Farmlands to the left, woods to the right. There's another observation. First part of the trail out of Farmville was all through wooded areas, and you felt like you were way, way away from everything. And right now, for the last maybe mile, heading into Pamplin, we're maybe 600 or 500 yards or so from Route 460, so a lot of traffic. You probably could hear that, and that's not as pleasant as the first part of the trail that I was on. Just an observation. Still a nice trail. Again, very flat and not much to see except the trees and now the cars on 460. But it probably simulates the C&O, what I'm going to experience pretty closely, except there will be no, it's not, I don't think it's ever real close to a lot of traffic, except around Williamsport or between Hancock and Williamsport maybe. That's the mile 12.8 update. And I'm seeing these posts here. This one's 17 West. The gray post, I don't know what they're for, but they seem to occur every half mile. That's the kind of thing you do when you're all by yourself on a trail riding west. And then another observation, I just saw two bicyclists on e-bikes past me, and a guy somewhat earlier. That's 3 cyclists I've seen, and maybe 4 walkers. So on a Saturday, I'm surprised that there aren't more people out here, but in such a great day with the weather. So again, that's the update. There are these concrete posts with number preceded by N, and that was used to tell the engineer how far away he was from Norfolk, Virginia. So apparently this went to Petersburg and then on to Norfolk. So when they're coming the other way, they'd see they have 166 miles to go. Tidbit of information, a little bit of history. We are at the end of the trail. I've actually already stopped. Got some water and a protein bar or granola bar. And this is where the trail ends on the west end by Pamplin, downtown Pamplin. Shame they couldn't extend it up to the old railroad station. So we're gonna head back now to Farmville. So that was 18 miles. That took me 2 hours and apparently 2 minutes. So a little disappointing. You know, I'm averaging 8.8 miles an hour, and I really like to average 10, preferably 12. So, and I used 18% of my battery. I had it at Eco 1. This is, Breeze has a torque sensor, the bike, the Breeze 1. And that was an experiment. I mean, really, I went 18 miles. I was using almost a percentage a mile, and it gave me some boost. And even at that, I was only averaging 8.8 miles per hour. So it did help, but it didn't help me that much. I got 100%, and I used 18 for 18 miles. So presumably on a flat trail like the C&O, reasonably flat, and going 60 miles, I should only use 60% or maybe more, which is all I need to get from Hancock, Maryland to Cumberland. Going from Cumberland to Rockwood on the Gap Trail, though, there are some slopes there. I understand. I think certainly going to the Continental Divide, there's a slope up to that. I may have to use more power on that stretch. And really, if I'm low on battery at Rockwood, I'll stop and try to find a place to charge it. It takes a while to charge, but I understand that the route going from Rockwood to Somerset, the country road, is a little bit uphill. Not great slope, but enough to make it difficult to pedal for me on this bike. And I'm riding this really basically unloaded. I've got the front basket on it, I've got the rear rack and the bag. I have some things in the bag, 3 water bottles, but I haven't put in what I'm going to be taking on that trip. So I've got to take the charger for the battery, and clothes, of course, toiletries, a load of snacks. Shouldn't be too heavy, but who knows? It'll be heavier than it is now. So I'm heading back to Farmville. Catch up with you there. I wasn't going to record anymore until I got to Farmville, but 2 things. Number 1, I'm still using Eco 1. Before I was riding in my derailleur gear number 4 and 3. I put it in 5. And there's a little bit more resistance on my legs, obviously, but it's getting me up in the 10 and 11 miles an hour, which is where I want to be. The other thing is, although it's calmed down just now, a little bit of a headwind. Nothing really pushing against me, but you can feel it. So that's the 21.5 mile update. Okay, just had a Caesar salad for lunch at Charlie's Waterfront Cafe. And now I'm going to head towards the eastern end of the trail. I've logged 36, almost 37 miles. On your left. Thank you. Howdy. On your left. Howdy. Hello. On your left, thank you. Hey. Approaching mile 0, which is the high bridge. And we're going to start to go over it. So this played a significant role towards the end of the Civil War. Both North and South wanted to destroy it, keep each other from crossing it. On your left, thank you. I'll write down what the height is. I think it's 119 or something like that. But it's down there. It goes over the Appomattox River. On a windy day, I can imagine this would be scary. Howdy. I'm not looking left or right. Hello. Howdy. It's a long bridge. Okay, here's mile 0. Ah, there it is, right there. So there's the river down there. On your left. Thank you. 5 miles into this side of the trip. Hello. You okay? Okay. I think after riding this trail, I've decided that I guess I really prefer trails that go in and around urban areas. There's more to see, like the Roanoke Trail. I mean, even though it was just parks and things, it was something that broke up the landscape a little bit. In September, I think I'm going to go up in the Philadelphia area, to the west of Philadelphia. There's a bunch of trails that intersect there. Find a place to stay and maybe 3 days of trail riding in different directions. And that should be interesting because that's kind of urban, suburban area. I'm debating between that and the Raleigh-Durham area. And then I've also thought about the Capitol Trail from Richmond. On your left, thank you. Oh, look at this, High Bridge Station. So this is an entry point from this side, restrooms. One thing of note too is there have been no water sources, places that you can get water. Something to take into account if you're planning to ride this trail. And now we keep going. I've got about 6.5 more miles to go before I turn around. Time is now 3:20 in the afternoon. I started at 9:02. Stopped for lunch. That was about a half an hour maybe. Okay, so the trail, not much different. So we'll sign off and come back on when we make a turnaround. At the 12-mile mark, and I'm turning around, so there's still probably a couple more miles. This is Moran, I think it's called, Moran, Virginia. And I'm turning around. I've got 49.4 miles, so 12 more will give me 61.4, but 61.5 miles or so. So, mission almost accomplished. We go back to Farmville. Coming up here, I've been able to stay pretty much around 12 miles an hour, so my new approach to these gears is working out. We are approaching the bridge from our turnaround on the eastern end of the trail, 0.3 miles from the bridge. So I'm at mile 56.4. So we have another 5 miles or so to get back into Farmville, not far. And here's the bridge. Hey, gentlemen. All right, here we go. I've seen more people on this side of Farmville than I saw on the other side. Not very many for a Saturday and a beautiful day. Hello, excuse me, I'll get you away. No, I gotta park. That's the Appomattox. This is the other side. So based on where the sun is, I'd say this is wet. All right, we're heading back into Farmville. And I'm showing 61.7 at this point. Just parked right across the street here. No cars. That's a good thing. And around in my car. Recap. 61.8 miles. Riding time 5 hours and 55 minutes and 8 seconds. And I started at 9:02 and it's now 5:25. So that's 8 hours and 23 minutes total time, including stops, water breaks, that sort of thing. So that ends this practice ride. Big success. Thanks for watching, and watch for my videos on the C&O Canal ride in a couple weeks. Bye.